Recursion can be used to manipulate strings as well. Let's see a couple examples here. So if we had the function switcher and it had an input DCBA, you notice that it's returning a string. What it says is if the word's length is less than or equal to 1, we just return the word. So if we ever get down to just one letter, that's all the recursive function will return. Because DCBA is not one letter, we're going to do the recursive case. And it makes a couple of variables. It says the first is going to be the substring from 0 to 1. So in our first example, that's going to be D. And then the rest is going to be the substring from 1 to the end. That's what happens with the substring command. If you put only one parameter, it goes from that position to the end. So we're going to have two parts. D is going to be the first, and CBA is going to be the rest. And what it says is we're going to call the switcher function, which I'm just going to call S, on the rest, which is CBA, and we're going to add that with what the first thing was, which was D. So what does S, the switcher function on CBA, do? Well, the length is not less than or equal to 1, so once again it's going to get the first letter, which is C, and the rest of it, which is BA, and it's going to call switcher on the rest, which was BA, and add to that the first letter, which was C. So what does switcher BA do? Well, switcher BA, that's going to split up B and A into B, the first, and A, the rest, and call switcher on the rest, which was A, and add to that the first letter, which was B. Now at this point, when we call switcher and pass in A, this hits the base case because the length is less than or equal to 1, so this generates the letter A. So now we have to read this recursion backwards and figure out what it's actually going to do. So this A is going to get concatenated with a B, so this whole thing is just AB. And then that comes backwards up to here, and it's going to do that AB plus a C, so that's ABC. And that comes backwards to here, and adds that to the D, and we get ABCD. So the final thing that we get back is ABCD. So this is how to do a string reversal recursively. Let's also look at the count X example down here. And what it has here is this function, count X. It says if the length of our word is 0, return 0. Otherwise, it does sort of the same thing as the last one, where it gets the first letter and the rest of it. And so here is our input string, A, X, B, X, C, D, X, X. So that's not 0. So once again, it's going to break up into the first and the last. And it says, is the first equal to X? And because the first is not equal to X, all it's going to do is return the same function again, count X. Actually, let me do this on another line. That's going to give us count X again, but this time just on the rest of the string. So X, B, X, C, D, X, X. So what does that do? Well, once again, the length is not 0, so we get the front, we get the rest. Because the front is equal to X, what this is going to evaluate to is the number 1 plus count X on the rest of the string. So B, X, C, D, X, X. So we can continue this process, but I think some of you might be on to kind of the scheme here. What this is going to do is it's going to add a bunch of things together, and it's going to be adding ones every time we run into an X, and nothing new if we run into things that are not X. So this code is literally just going to add 1 every time there's an X. And because there are 4 X's in the string, we're going to get that this is going to give us the value of 4. So you're more than welcome to go through the rest of the tracing of this. But once you start to see a pattern like this in a recursive function, it's very good to conclude, oh, this must be what it's doing.